Thank you for joining me here today, and what a beautiful day it is, and welcome. And welcome to a response to Father Mike's topic on evangelisation, telling of God's love. Now, I was called over 20 years ago to consecrate the Eucharist within the Catholic Church. And I had to become a theologian to try and understand why it was that God was calling me to consecrate the Eucharist, and the Catholic Church's teachings were prohibiting it. Now, Father Mike, you were speaking at a rather large conference in Philadelphia, and you were talking about when you had to leave your students at Newman House and how they didn't want you to go, that they said that they will miss you, there's no one quite like you, and that some of them have called you Dad. Now, Father Mike, you addressed this to brother seminarians in the audience, and you said that the heart of formation is being a dad. And I thought, but where is the mother in the church if you are the dad? Where is the mother to the students? Now, Father Mike, you talked about the students at Newman House having a small chapel, and that you have a motto, and it says, if there's a need, if you see a need, fill it. Well, I'd like to tell you a little story about that. I was up at the college, and this was some time ago, and I was completing my master's in theology. There were a number of seminarians there, they were boarding there, and a number of lay women and men like myself doing these studies. And we were having a tea break, and I started talking to this lady. I had never seen her before, and I did not know her. And we got to talking, and I told her about my call to the priesthood. She said, I'd love to have women priests in the church. She said, because I have breast cancer. And she said, I would have loved to have gone to a priest and have them help me on this journey and pray for me, to encourage me and give me strength and to keep my trust in God. But she said I couldn't go to a male priest. She said if there had been women priests, then she would have gone. I remember thinking to myself, now I know why God is calling me, calling women like myself, because there is a need. There is a need in the church, Father Mike. You said that the heart of formation to the seminarians there was in being a dad. But where is the mother? Why don't you speak about the phenomenon in the church? A woman would find comfort, I believe, in this. Where there is a need, fill it, and God is filling it. An anointed, baptized Catholic woman should be able to consecrate the Eucharist like any male. Now, Father Mike, you talked about the students at Newman House. Now, you say to them that no one needs permission if there is a need that they can feel to go out and to do it. That no one needs permission. But Father Mike, I cannot do that. I am expected to ask for permission. As a woman, that I have to ask permission if I can consecrate the Eucharist. And when I am refused with excommunication, a baptized Catholic woman who is following the call of the Holy Spirit, who has been anointed, who has, in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, been given the power to go and preach, that I am forbidden. So when you're up there in front of everybody and you're saying, oh yes, you don't need permission, well, in fact, we do. Because we have become so weighed down in listening to the church's teachings that we forget we have a God. We forget we have a Holy Spirit that we were anointed with during baptism. Father Mike, you talk about going out and not having to have permission to preach. That was Mary. Mary said yes, and she preached. She was the first apostle. She was the first disciple. She was the first of divinity that God chose, a woman. She proclaimed the good news. She was not forbidden. She was anointed truly by the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit did not only give us the power to go out and preach, Father Mike, but the Holy Spirit is like a legal advocate. It is one of righteousness and justice. I didn't ask for this call. God granted it to me. And what God has placed in, Father Mike, no hand can take out, not even a Pope's. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.